Welcome to Besiege Bots, the real home of robotic combat in Besiege. In this episode, we decide which of our 4 quarter-finalists will make it to the final episode for a shot at the crown. And we kick off our quarter-finals with a matchup between Oops and Plaguebearer. Team mistakes were made taking on Team Night Slash, with 2 pretty solid control bots, as Plaguebearer seems to have some trouble there for a second. Oh, it actually gets under Oops. That's quite surprising. I definitely wouldn't have expected Plaguebearer to be able to wedge under Oops there. We've seen Oops' wedge have a little bit of trouble at times, but they did a great job driving against Stratos. Though Plaguebearer isn't a flipper, so they're not going to really have to time anything. They can just get under and keep driving through with their power. So far, it looks like Plaguebearer has more pushing power early on. Oh, but there, Oops actually gets under and manages to outpush Plaguebearer and flip them over. There's a nice bit of control from Oops there. Both teams have done pretty solidly in the tournament thus far. I'd say the favorite is probably Oops in this matchup, just because it is hard for Plaguebearer to get under Oops. But Team Night Slash have done pretty well. They got a little bit lucky against Fat Man, but then showed some very good driving in their last matchup against Conflicted. Ooh, and they keep showing their back to Oops. I don't think that's intended. I think there's some issues with the control of Plaguebearer going on at the moment, unfortunately. Hopefully that clears up for them soon. And there you go, they're able to push Oops around right there. When Oops doesn't out-wedge Plaguebearer, Plaguebearer's actually got more pushing power, it looks like. Likely due to it using regular large wheels as opposed to smaller cambered wheels. Because the cambered wheels won't have as much grip on the floor. And you see there, Plaguebearer just getting a nice push off. So far, really solid driving from both teams. Oops is trying to get around to the sides when it can. Plaguebearer is actually doing the smart thing, which is just taking head-on collisions, because either they get under Oops or it stalemates and they're able to push Oops. But Oops doing a really good job there. Now they're turning to get away from that forward pressure from Plaguebearer. Ooh, they got rammed into the wall just then. So far so good. Neither team has had a huge advantage. It really could go either way. This is a very close fight. So I'm not sure who the judges will see it for. There was Oops, got a nice little push, but then Plaguebearer started brute forcing them backwards. Good thing about Besiege though is you at least can't burn out your wheel motors, unlike in real life robot combat, where if 2 bots were pushing against each other like that, someone's motors would be gone. Plaguebearer having a lot of trouble again with the driving. Oh, this is a real shame for them because it's such a close fight. This could end up making the difference. Well, unfortunately, they're just oversteering a lot. Ooh, unfortunate there for Plaguebearer, getting themselves kind of stuck on the wall, but Oops really hasn't capitalized too much. We'll see how the judges saw it. Ooh, and it's a 23-22 decision to Oops. Very unfortunate for Plaguebearer. It was such a close fight. But congratulations to Oops, who have become the first bot to make it through to the finale, and commiserations to Team Night Slash, who put up a great fight. Start up fight number 2 between Ember and Zander, as Ember gets under early, but Zander does a good job turning away. Zander got under that time. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty close wedge battle. Not really sure who has the better wedge. Good flip early from Zander. That's the first significant control of the match thus far, and another one from Zander. Just very good start from Zander. Ember really needs to get back over, but Zander not giving them any room to maneuver at all, just staying underneath them, and they're having a bit of trouble self-riding, which is giving Zander enough time to maneuver. But Ember does a good job there, actually manages to get under for a second. Ooh, but they over-push their advantage, end up driving over the top of Zander. Which is always funny to watch with Zander. A lot of bots do just drive over the top of it. Zander, Ember gets under there and gets a nice flip on Zander. Now they're going to try and look to take advantage. But unfortunately couldn't find that second flip. But there's another big one into the blue corner there. They're going to want to get him over near the pit while they have this advantage. Zander in a bit of trouble here, but manages to get away and now get back under. Now Ember's the one in trouble. Good job from Zander, playing it very patient in these wedge battles. And Ember seems to be getting over anxious and trying to drive up. It's a good battle between two solid drivers with Team Pilot Light and the Diddlers. Both teams that are known for having good driving skill. The Diddlers, of course, the founding fathers of Besiege bots, started this whole thing off, and they ran all the tournaments up until recently, at which point it was taken over by Style and Substance Robotics. But they always come to compete, and they bring some really cool designs. And also very good driving skill, as is on display here. Ember has just been getting controlled for the last probably minute while I've been talking. Ember having a lot of trouble again. They had a couple good flips in there for a little while, but as soon as they lost the advantage, Zander was able to get back in control and start flipping them around. Ember lands. Ooh, Zander getting close to pitting them there. It's another nice little flip. Zander's getting these flips. Oh, but Ember's under there, and that's a really nice flip from Ember. Ember definitely has the power advantage, and they get Zander very close to the pit, but they just don't quite get them in. Ooh, it was very close for Team Pilot Light. I would say they're probably behind on the scorecards currently. Ooh, now a different tactic. They've opened up the lifter to try and use it like a dustpan, and then they're gonna try and throw Zander in that way. That was really smart from Team Pilot Light. Didn't quite work. Now they're using the back as a dustpan, but unfortunately they get out pushed by Zander. Zander gets under again. Ember close to the pit. Now Ember in a bit of trouble. Zander on the attack, and they go in with 4 seconds left on the clock. Zander gets the pit KO over Ember. Congratulations to the Diddlers, who move on to the finale, and unfortunate for Team Pilot Light, they'll have to try again at SummerSlamathon. For our second to last fight, we have Sheriff taking on Ant, Team Questionable Engineering, who came top 8 at Spring Bash Cup against Team Caffeine, who didn't compete in Spring Bash Cup, but do have a history of doing well in most of the tournaments they enter. Finishing first in Middleweight Mayhem, as we've mentioned a few times, but also finishing top 3 in Super Heavyweight Slaughter, with a not dissimilar bot to Ant, though much bigger, obviously, since it was a Super Heavyweight and not an Antweight, but still like a walking flipper kind of a bot. So far, so good from Ant. Mostly getting under Sheriff and just getting nice flips. Sheriff having a bit of trouble there, self-riding. They finally get back over. Ant staying aggressive though. Sheriff gets around to the side. Oh, can they get a flip off? And there's a nice flip from Sheriff onto Ant. He sent Ant decently high. Could have been better though. Sheriff has a lot more forward flipping than a lot of the other flippers in this competition though. A lot of the other flippers do flip very much vertical, while Sheriff does throw things forward. So if they can get Ant near a pit, they can definitely get a pit KO if they can line it up. But so far, Sheriff just really struggling to self-ride after they do land these flips, to the point where Ant's actually back on top of them before they even get up from their own flip. And a nice flip from Ant there. But Sheriff with another nice flip. This time they didn't flip themselves. This is good from Sheriff. They're looking to get the pit. Ooh, couldn't quite get it. And unfortunately having trouble self-riding yet again. And they give up their advantage. While Ant does a good job staying aggressive. That was very nice from Ant. They're staying aggressive, chasing down Team Questionable Engineering's Sheriff. Oh, Sheriff gets to the side again, and there's another nice flip. Gonna look to catch Ant there. Oh, but they miss on the flip. That's unfortunate. And they miss getting to the side, and Ant manages to flip Sheriff, but Sheriff gets back up quickly this time. They really need to maximize the time that they're in control, but unfortunately they flip themselves over yet again. And once more they struggle to self-right, and Ant maintains its aggression, keeps scuttling forward, and keeping Sheriff on its back so that it can't potentially end this with a pit KO. Ant's just doing exactly what it's built to do. It's not really very good at getting pits because its flipper isn't very powerful, but it does a very good job at controlling things because it's pretty fast for a walker as well. Not as fast as like a wheeled bot is, but you know, it's pretty quick for a walker. A lot of walkers are very slow. Oh, Sheriff jumps over Ant there. They're struggling to self-right still. We're coming up to 10 seconds till a judge's decision. I don't think Sheriff's going to be able to get them into a pit in that time. But Sheriff does self-right. They have to get a Hail Mary Uda here, and they don't. That's going to go to the judges. And the judges called it for Ant, and I agree with the judges. So congratulations to Ant and Team Caffeine, who move on to our finale. And better luck next time to Sheriff and Team Questionable Engineering. And now we come to the final match of the quarterfinals to decide our final member of the semis, and the last bot moving on to our finale. Will it be Fork Year from the Angry Workers or Slant from the always dangerous Team Archaon? Who would be, if they make it to the finale, will be chasing their 4th tournament title and extending their lead, with 2nd place currently being the Institution of Insanity at 2 tournament wins. So if they win this, they would have double the amount of tournament wins of the next closest team, and they're just juggling Fork U there early. Fork U got under there for a second though, as Slant missed a flip. Apologies, just commentated Ant versus Sheriff, so I've got Ant on the brain. And Slant, obviously a very similar name. So far, Fork Year, neither bot has really been able to get a ton of control. Slant is really looking to drive around to the sides. 4Q doing well now though, some good lifts in there. Really good driving from 4Q though so far. Slant is having trouble. They got a couple good flips really early on, but since then they haven't really been able to get under. Oh, but they get a good flip there, right as I say that. Bit of a commentator's curse. Ooh, Slant almost was to the side there. It's still hard to get under the sides of 4Q though, since it does have those blades diagonally down on its side. It's a very smart design decision. If they keep those blades... Ooh, but Slant got under there for a second, but then they managed to get off. 4Q kind of stuck against the side of the pit, but Slant misses the flip to go for the pit. They kind of missed again. Ooh, almost an Uda there from Slant. It would have been only the second one of the tournament and the only flipper to get one, if it can manage that. 4Q, wow, that's another really good pin there, as they had one blade under the chassis and the other blade over the top of those side wedgelets on the front of Slant. So far, it's fairly close, but I'd probably be edging it to 4Q at the moment. I think they've had much longer stretches of control, while Slant has really only gotten a few good flips in, and I'd say actually even less good flips than Sheriff had in the last match. And Sheriff lost that one, so it'd be interesting to see how the judges see this one. If we do get to the judges, we still have 40 seconds to go. 4Q just maintaining really good control over Slant, getting to the sides of those blades, lifting them up, pushing Slant close to the pit, but can't, ooh, couldn't quite get them in and end up falling over. This could be Slant's chance. Ooh, but they missed the flip, but 4Q can't get back over. 4Q's back over now though. This is dangerous. 10 seconds left. Ooh, Slant with a big flip. And another one. Oh my god, Slant just won with a literal last second pit KO. They literally landed at the bottom of the pit with 1 second to go. Well, congratulations to Team Archaon, who get a chance to win a 4th crown, and unfortunate for 4Q. That's it for this episode. Our 4 bots heading into the finale are Oops, Zander X, Ant VIII, and Slant. Unfortunately, we also have to say goodbye to Plaguebearer, Ember, Sheriff, and 4Q. Our next episode will be the finale of Antweight Armageddon. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please leave a like, comment, and consider subscribing. If you're interested in joining our community, follow the Discord link in the description. And from everyone in the Besiege Bots Discord, have a fantastic day, and we'll see you soon.